Go ahead and mute both of y'all, and then as soon as you hear me talking, I'm going to be live, okay?
I think we're live, like right now, on mine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're live. Let me check. Hello, anyone who is now joining the stream.
What is going on, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today we are doing live election results from the 2018 midterms. We are now looking at several midterm results coming in as of right now. We are now looking at some Senate results coming out of the state of Indiana. We are looking at House results coming out of the state of Kentucky and Indiana. So what we are looking at right now is Indiana is having a Republican lead. Mike Braun is leading 61.3 against 34.7 against the incumbent Joe Donnelly. And so today we are actually going to be looking into what is going to happen. We're going to be spending the next several hours watching the election results come out of the House and the Senate. So what is going to be happening tonight is basically that we're also going to be joined by Backstar, and we are also going to be joined by another YouTuber by the name of Zach Z. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute them on Discord right now, and we are going to be talking to them just as a precautionary measure. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, we are now finally live. 8 people are watching me on my live stream. So finally, I'm going to go ahead and introduce y'all. Welcome to the live stream, Backstar, and welcome to the live stream, Zach Z.
That was quite the introduction.
Thank you guys so much for. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. And also, Zach Z has his own live stream going on right now. But yeah. So, in y'all's take, what is y'all's take on the election tonight?
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Democrats are going to take the House and the Senate, and the Republicans are going to take the majority or hold the majority in the Senate rather. But the margins are obviously up for debate. I personally don't think that the Democrats are going to. I think that the Senate is going to stay pretty much the same. Like my prediction on the Senate is 51-49 at this point, but that could flux between 50 or 50-50 split or 52-48. I think is 2 other likely possibilities. And on a side note, the Democrats are now leading in Kentucky 6th. That's my take on everything. Yeah, I mean, it's only 1% in, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Hang on.
And just to clarify to anyone, just to clarify for any of my viewers, I'm going to be in and out pretty often throughout the stream. I got other things to do, so just a heads up there. I'm
leaving us.
I'm very busy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it does look like the Democrats are actually leading in Kentucky 6. 1% of the vote is in.
Yeah,
we do have one representative. We have one representative who has won his race, which is Kentucky 5, just next to Kentucky 6. That's a good news for the Republicans.
No, we might as well stop the stream now. I mean, they've won Kentucky 5.
Republicans win. You know.
What's the point of going on anymore?
What's the point of streaming anymore? You know? Oh man, that's just decisive win for the Republican Party right now.
Oh yeah.
So right now it is 5:50 Central Time. We do not get more results. We have results coming in actually in about 10 minutes. Where more results. Those are going to be results coming out of the states of Virginia, Georgia. We're going to get results out of the Georgia governor's race, where that very contested race, especially with a possible voter suppression from the Republican side, from the current governor, I believe, is actually taking place. Hashtag green wave from one of my viewers. So, yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for this night. Long time coming.
Oh yeah.
What are we looking at right now? So. Does look like the Republicans. It is now tied in Kentucky 6 right now.
Whatever happens in Kentucky 6, if the Democrats pull it off, that will pretty much set the tone as what's going to happen in the House.
Mm-hmm.
For the Senate,
to some degree, I guess, but
I'm not going to rule out McCaskill. I'm not going to rule out Heitkamp. Because I think they very much could pull it off. even though they've been down in the polls in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you can hear my TV, but I'm sorry if you can. Same thing, Florida, but Texas is what I'm looking at. Better, I think you can pull it off down. Other than that, we got to watch and really see what's going to happen in the next 8 minutes or so, because that's when the next polls close.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm actually looking up at the poll closings right now. New York Times, we have so 5 o'clock was whenever 5 o'clock Central Time was when Indiana and Kentucky closed. 6 o'clock is whenever the rest of Indiana and Kentucky will go ahead and close. We're also going to be getting results in 8 minutes out of Vermont, New Hampshire, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. We're going to be getting that. So we're going to be getting some key races out of Georgia and Florida in the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, that 6th district in Georgia has really surprised me these past few weeks. Lucy McBath has been making a very impressive comeback there. Like I've been calling
Georgia 6, was that the handle?
Yeah, that's the special election district from last year. Like I've been calling it likely for the GOP like right up until last week, and like Lucy McBath has led in, I think, 2 recent polls here. So I think it's going to be pretty competitive here, which I did not expect.
We have some results coming out. Hang on, we have some projected winners. According to CNN, we have 3 projected winners. 2 other races have been called by CNN. The New York Times might call them in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I'm looking at CNN. Kentucky 5 has been called for Mr. Rogers. Indiana 6. Mike Pence's brother has won Indiana 6. That is a projected winner in the House. So Indiana 3. Indiana 3 has been called for the Republican. So Republicans are now 3-0 in the House of Representatives.
Is this in? Wait. 3-0?
Yeah, they're 3-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Republicans win 3-0. It's like watching a football game. So the ones they have right now is Indiana 3, Indiana 6, and Kentucky 5. Kentucky 6 is still being led by the Republicans, but it's by a very small margin. But that's with 1% of the vote in.
Yeah, I think we can all safely assume that Kentucky 6th is not going to be going to the Democrats. Oh, wait, no. Not Kentucky 6th. My bad. Kentucky, whatever. The rest of Kentucky except for the 6th district. So there's no really need to talk about that too much.
Yeah. Indiana Senate right now is actually still being led by the Republican, and I think he's going to hold that lead for a long time.
Really?
It could change like whenever the rest of the poll starts coming in. I don't know what the percentage is at right now. No.
The thing about Indiana is, if you look at the New York Times map, if you look at the counties anywhere, Indianapolis, Gary, Fort Wayne, all these metropolitan areas are not filled in yet. We're getting rural votes from these rural counties. Now, also, you got to factor in the southern part of Indiana.
Yeah, you can't characterize Indiana safe or likely or anything right now with 3% in.
What I'm saying is that I'm not going to rule out Donnelly, and I'm not going to say that the Republican is going to win, because basically this is to be expected when you have majority of rural voting of the rural counties coming in. Okay. When you start seeing Gary and Indianapolis votes going, that's when you're going to start seeing the stuff get close. So then, we're going to see Donnelly at 37%, and same thing down there in Georgia. You're going to see Stacey Abrams. Probably,
we got about 4 minutes until Georgia polls close.
Yeah, you're going to see Abrams pretty much trailing until.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm expecting. I'm not going to call it like as soon. I'm not going to really call anything until because yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone should call anything because until 50% of the vote comes in, especially in these key races in Arizona, Nevada, Missouri, my prediction actually is that Missouri is going to be the closest race of this entire election tonight.
I agree.
Well, if Abrams or the Brian
Which
Kemp
actually Missouri closes at about 7 o'clock in about 1 hour.
6 just swung back to McGrath.
If neither candidate in Georgia gets 50% of the vote, it goes to. So they may not even Georgia governor may not even be called.
Yeah, there's a good chance for that.
I don't know. It's like it's so like this whole thing is just going to be just a continuous cluster. Like it's not going to be able to. I'm not going to make any kind of projections. New York Times is actually. Republicans are actually leading in the popular vote right now, but I mean, you know, it's about
it doesn't mean anything.
Thing going. No, they don't. Yeah, I mean, they're not even. They don't even have their little spinometer thing that they usually have. They don't even have that active right now.
And what you were saying before, Backstar, that's your username?
Yeah.
Okay. What you were saying before to Indiana is pretty accurate. Like Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, no really key areas have come in yet. So you can't really base anything off of the 59.
Have those not even come in?
What?
Nope.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna get super close once Fort Wayne and Indianapolis come in.
And see, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's going to happen in Georgia. That's what's going to happen in Florida. That's what's going to happen in Missouri. That's what's going to happen in Tennessee and Texas. It's going to happen pretty much where all these key Senate races and governorships and all this stuff is. You're going to have the rule vote come in. And then in about 45 minutes to an hour later, you're going to start seeing the major metropolitan areas, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Dallas, Fort Worth, all that start coming in.
Evansville as well.
That's when everything gets interesting, when you start seeing those big major.
In about an hour is whenever it's really going to start kicking up.
I think Indiana's going to be close. I absolutely think that Indiana's going to be close, but I feel pretty confident calling it for Joe Donnelly, honestly, after analyzing it for as long as I have.
Well, in 3, 2, 1.
All right, it is 6 o'clock. It is 6 o'clock. We are now supposed to be getting more election.
Well,
I'm going to go ahead and start watching over Georgia.
Too close to call Indiana Senate.
Oh, Virginia's coming in. Vermont's coming in. Oh boy.
Vermont. Sanders.
Here we go.
Where are we going in?
Vermont. Bernie Sanders.
Well, I'm not getting anything right now.
Okay, that's because you don't see CNN. MSNBC just projected Tim Kaine will win his seat.
What?
Also,
Tim Kaine has been projected to win?
Yes.
No results have even come out of Virginia. How can they call that?
Also, Bernie Sanders will
Bernie Sanders and Tim Kaine have been projected winners of the Senate, their respective Senate races.
You're right, and no results have even come in yet.
We have 2 confirmed winners from the Senate races. This puts the Senate count 25 to 42. Republicans still have the lead. Obviously, more Democratic races are up for grabs this year than Republican races. That's why the Republicans actually have a more of a advantage over the Democrats. So Tim Kaine has won his respective race in Virginia against Republican candidate Stewart, and Bernie Sanders has won his race against Republican Zupan. So this is not surprising, not really surprising for this entire race, but that's not really much to talk about that. We are supposed to be looking at some races coming out.
No numbers out of either one of those states have come in, so it's kind of weird that they're calling it that early.
All right, we're getting some Florida races. Okay, so we have several races getting called in the House. 7 Democrats now have seats in the House. 4 Republicans have seats in the House. Democrats are now leading in the House race right now.
Whoa!
What are you seeing this on? New York Times?
What are you seeing this on? This isn't on New York Times or CNN.
This is on CNN.
I'm not seeing this on CNN.
Well, see, he's watching them.
No, okay, it's still election results. Okay, like I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going back and forth between that. It's still that. New York Times right now has it 2-2 right now. That is because the Democrats have won their race in Virginia 3, and
key race alert.
What's?
Oh, they're talking about Florida Senate is 2.
Yeah. This is our Bill Chris is leading in Florida 12. So what are we looking at? Okay, so I need to zoom in on Florida right here. Okay, Florida 14 has been won by Castor. Florida 10 has been won by Demings. Florida 21 won by Finkel, who was not challenged. We haven't gotten any results out of Georgia 6, though. We're not getting anything out of that yet. Georgia 8 has been won by incumbent Scott. He was unchallenged. Okay, so Kentucky 6. Republican is expanding his lead in Kentucky 6 right now. CNN is making first objections as poll closed in several key states. That's of course. So we are looking at this. Hang on. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we got any governor's races. We got governor race projections coming out of Florida right now. DeSantis is in the lead, 52-46, 125,000 votes to 111,000 votes against Andrew Gillum. This race was actually the one that was very controversial by DeSantis whenever after he won his primary back in, I believe it was August or September.
3 counties.
Yeah, I know, three counties in, but still that 100,000 votes. Well, Pasco County is actually being led by DeSantis. That is actually the county that is north of Tampa. South of Orlando, we're seeing Gillum lead by about 20,000 votes.
Well, if I'm correct, Tampa and around that area, they typically vote Republican.
No, not typically.
We're probably going to see in Florida. We're probably going to see a couple of rounds of votes with the Republican lead. I do believe that Gillum will prevail in this race. What is y'all's projections on the Florida Senate or Florida governor?
I think.
All right, we have projections coming out of Florida Senate. Nelson, or not Nelson, Scott is in the lead. Scott is in the lead by about 10,000, 15,000 votes.
It's the same 3 counties.
Like I said, what's going on right now is they're talking about this rule votes coming in from these counties. Wait till Miami-Dade, Orlando, Jacksonville, all these, Democratic strongholds start reporting in. That's when the stuff gonna start getting interesting.
Virginia 9 is in Republican lead by about 30 vote.
All right, I'm gonna clock out for a little bit just to do some of my homework.
All right.
I'm still gonna be on the stream. I just can't comment.
You're not gonna be talking. All right. Yeah, just jump in and out. Just let me know.
All right.
We'll be here and we'll be projecting and stuff like that.
Okay. Goodbye, John King.
All right. Yep. We still have a Republican lead in Florida. Republican lead in Florida Senate. 42-25 Republican lead in the Senate as of right now. Florida 17 looks like Texas. Which one's Florida 17? I don't know where that is. Hell yeah. All right,
so in 30 minutes, Well, 23 minutes.
I'm gonna be watching. All right,
Nelson is taking the lead in Florida.
Yep. Nelson. Wait, no, Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah, both Democratic candidates have taken the leads in Florida right now.
Well, that's to be expected. It's going to go back. But this is what's going to happen in Florida.
I'm going to go ahead and switch this over because I need to.
Because Florida likes to be difficult. So what's going to happen for about the next couple hours? Florida is going to go back and forth between the Republicans and the Democrats for governor and Senate. I'll say probably around 10 o'clock. That's when our stuff's going to start getting finalized down there in Florida. The Panhandle, they're still voting. So you also got to factor that in too, because a lot of the
it's coming out of Florida, or Georgia.
For what, governor?
For governor. I'm trying to concentrate on Georgia for governor. That's something that I'm interested in. Let's go ahead and see what the New York Times is doing right now. The New York Times have called Vermont for Bernie Sanders. However, they have not called the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, for Tim Kaine.
The CNN did.
Mm-hmm. Republicans, according to the New York Times, Florida is in the lead, or Rick Scott is in the lead in Florida.
By like 32 points. But it's behind the CNN prediction.
Nelson is expanding his lead against Rick Scott right now.
Yeah, you're gonna see that.
No key races out of anything else except Indiana and Kentucky are being called right now.
Tallahassee's coming in. That's where Nelson and Gilliam's lead is coming from.
From where?
Tallahassee.
Yeah, Tallahassee.
Yeah, that's why they just got a huge lead in both races.
Out of Leon County and Osceola County, actually, he has huge leads. Just west of Tampa, he has a slight lead, but yeah, we're not seeing too much out of there.
Still waiting on the more suburban, urban areas of Indiana to be called.
Mm-hmm. That's whenever we're like, we should really start getting like solid projections out of that.
Yeah.
In Florida, we're seeing less than 1% of the vote being reported. However, it is saying that Florida has a 25% lead for the Republican. So I should probably stick to one source off of these things.
See, basically, everybody is probably getting their information from.
I'm gonna stick to the New York Times.
It's usually where they always get their results.
And because somebody make the check, make sure the AP is not wrong. So that's why you're seeing stuff on CNN. It's not on New York Times. So I'm just watching
50-minute text results being projected. We're supposed to be looking at a key race out of that, where we're going to be seeing Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke face off.
I think Beto could pull it off.
7 o'clock. We're also 50 minutes from seeing Tennessee and another key race. Missouri is going to start releasing their results. Kansas, we have a very important governor's race that's going on in the state of Kansas tonight.
What governor race?
Chris Kobach. He was this pro-Trump Republican who ran against the establishment Republican, and he won primary by a very slim margin, by about, I believe. We're 52 and 47 right now, and is 62-37 according to the New York Times. Let me go ahead and let's really see what the House forecast is looking like on the New York Times.
It's not
They're
going
going to start around 7:30, about 6 o'clock my time.
Yeah, they're waiting until there's more stuff come in.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on up in Kentucky 6? Because last time I checked, Democrats.
Republicans have won another race. We're now 7-5 right now. Okay, so Pence. This race is somewhere in here. I don't know. Oh, Georgia 8. Georgia 8 and Florida 12. Those were called for the Republicans. We're 7-5 in the House right now.
There are still people voting in Atlanta. So there's probably a lot of people still in line to vote.
Andrew wants to know the link to the stream, link to the server. I mean, for Discord.
The Discord.
Yeah, for Discord.
Just do you have him on Discord?
I'll ask him for his account name, I guess.
Yeah, just get him on Discord, and then you can add him, and then just go up to the top right thing, and it says add friends as DM. Either that, or I can add him right now. Give me his Discord. Like, send it to me privately.
All right. Once he's added, I'm gonna probably mute the chat. I still have a lot of crap to do.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good if we could actually get another guy in here, just in case you can't talk. And plus, I've never talked to this guy before, so it's gonna be interesting.
He's good. Don't worry.
All right, just send me his Discord privately, and I'll add him. So what are we looking at? Nothing coming out. Polls have closed in South Carolina, Vermont, or Florida. When does North Carolina close? That's what I'm trying.
North Carolina will close in 15
in about
minutes.
15 minutes. 15 minutes is whenever North Carolina closes, or a couple of races.
North Carolina, what is it, 9th District with Kathy Manning and Ted Budd?
Mm-hmm.
That's a race that Democrats are going to need to win.
Florida,
in order to win the House.
Florida Senate just got closer. We are now looking at a 51-48 difference with Nelson in the lead. Nelson is the Democrat, the incumbent Democrat. He was present, and you may be familiar with him. People may be familiar with him over the gun debate and stuff like that after that like horrific Broward County shooting. But that's that, and the guy he's running against is actually Rick Scott. He's the if he can actually pull this off, he will be another addition to the Republican seat in the Senate. Florida actually has a split Senate seat between the Republicans and the Democrats. The most popular one actually is Marco Rubio, who ran for president in 2016. He's of Cuban descent. Pretty cool guy. So what are we looking at? We are looking at, we have a couple of more projections. I don't know. I think Florida 9 just got projected for the Democrats. We are now 9-6 in the race for the House right now. 218, for those who don't know, 218 seats are needed for control of Congress or the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is the lower house of the federal government for the congressional branch. The Senate is the upper branch. 50 seats are needed for Republican control, because if the Republicans can keep at least 50 seats, they can at least get away with the vice president breaking the tie in any tied vote. However, the Democrats need 51 seats to break the Republican control in the Senate. It is very unlikely that the Democrats are going to be able to do this because they have to win in states such as Nevada and Arizona. They have to win both of them. They
have to win in those two states as well.
They have to win in the states of Texas. They have to win in the states of Tennessee. They have to keep their seat.
If the Democrats can keep all West Virginia and Florida, that's 4. They only need is what, 2 more Senate, 2, 3 more states control of the Senate. On the House, the Democrats will need to win about approximately 25 House seats.
Jacksonville's coming in.
What's happening?
Jacksonville's coming in Florida.
Jacksonville?
It's giving Nelson the lead.
All right, let's look at this. Jacksonville, yep. And we're also getting results out of Tampa. We're seeing a Nelson lead by 55.3 to 44.6. Nothing out of Orlando or Miami yet. This actually expands the lead to 52. He's already won his race. The race in Indiana has stayed. Now we are actually in Marion County in the state of Indiana, where you're seeing Joe Donnelly leading 66 to 29. I think actually this is very bad for Joe Donnelly if he keeps it like that. If he needs to expand that lead to like probably 80%. If he keeps that around 50, 60%, he's not going to be able to win the state of Indiana.
We're still winning on Indianapolis. There's not a whole lot out of Indianapolis.
No, that's where Marion County is. Marion County is Indianapolis.
Yeah, I know, but not a whole lot is out of Indianapolis yet. So that's what's going to really drive up his popular vote once that's all in.
Only about 2,000 votes have been cast so far.
In Indianapolis, so that's why it's still pretty dismal for him.
Yeah, numbers like that, those are really telltale signs. Braun, the Republican candidate for the state of Indiana, is leading 59.6 to Donnelly, the incumbent's 36.3. It is 115,000 votes to 70,287. Hang on. We actually just got a change in that vote. 59.8 to 36.1. It's 119,000 votes to 71,966 votes. The Libertarian candidate, the independent candidate, is actually getting away with 4.1% of the vote. I know I'm actually not doing a lot on here, so I need to start using this screen more. This is actually what I'm visualizing for my viewers right here. This is Marion County. This is where Indianapolis is. We're not getting anything out of Allen County, where Fort Wayne actually is from. Braun just expanded his lead to 60.
Also, what Donnelly is going to have to do is he's going to have to win those southern rural counties in Indiana. If he can win those as he did in 2012, he can win re-election. If he does not, basically he needs to rule in Indiana. That's what's going to carry.
Vote.
If he does not get those,
conservative Democrats are going to horribly the conservative Democrats that are they were not, what am I saying? The conservative Democrats such as Claire McCaskill, Heidi Heitkamp, Joe Donnelly, West Virginia, Joe Manchin is another. He actually voted for him. But Brett.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Zach's thing,
Hello? Hello?
Wi-Fi isn't. I think he's trying to talk, but it's not catching it. I actually can hear him.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
Okay. I really hope that doesn't happen again. Because Jesus.
I'm sorry, I didn't even notice. I actually have a subscriber that I'm actually that I've been talking to, and I promised that I would probably have him on. Which
Okay. I'm gonna send you Andrew's crap. Here it is.
Andrew's okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add him right now. Go ahead and tell him right now.
Okay.
Also, in about, what, 3 minutes?
Yep, we're gonna prediction. Election result. Ohio governor.
Kelly is a key race. So.
Okay, there's a decent chance that'll happen again. Just wanna put that out there.
Wow.
Okay, I gave you his stuff. I'm gonna go and mute the chat now. Okay?
Alright, that's fine. I added him now. Tell him that I'm adding him, and then I'll have him on in a moment. As soon as he accepts my friend request, I'm gonna go ahead and add him to the call.
Also, we gotta talk about some of the ballot measures.
Oh yeah, we need to. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up right now, so people who are watching right now can actually watch. Which CNN is actually pretty good. We pull that up right now. CNN says, wow, we are looking at a pretty red map right now. South Carolina is being led by the Democrats.
Okay, muting
Florida
the chat. See ya.
and all right, see ya.
Okay. Where's my TV remote?
Wait, can you still hear me?
All right. Yep. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and add Andrew. Okay.
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing then.
All right. He's joining us now. And so for those who are watching right now, we're gonna go ahead and add Andrew's election predictions to the chat. He is going to be joining us tonight to talk about these election predictions, election results. What's going on, Andrew? Yep, I can hear you.
All right, cool.
Okay, we got a minute until
Yep.
my home state of North Carolina.
All right, I just closed the stream. If I don't know if that was being heard.
Yeah, I could actually hear a little bit of it.
All right, that's closed now, so we're not going to.
Oh no, it's totally fine.
Okay, and the polls.
All right, 6:30. We're getting new results.
Yeah, how do I mute the chat?
We have projections.
What chat?
West Virginia.
Discord. It's kind of loud.
West Virginia sitting is too early.
Mute the chat by just muting all of us individually.
I literally don't even know how to. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got it. All right, you're all muted. I'm gonna go and do some work, and I'll be back in like half an hour probably. Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, I just got a CNN update. Okay, so Zach, we are looking at a. Yeah, you saw it?
Yeah, they took it.
Democrats, 1 seat gain as of right now. Democrats took a key Virginia race. According to CNN, MSNBC called it first.
That's Wexton,
and then
right?
now Virginia. Yes, Wexton has won her race in Virginia 10.
Let's get this bread.
Hold on, we got another projection. Go on MSNBC. Another projection. Ohio Senate. Sherrod Brown will retain his seat in the Ohio Senate.
Who's projecting that?
MSNBC.
MSNBC.
Yeah. Huh.
Sherrod Brown, incumbent Ohio Senator, Democrat, will keep his. Sorry, Republican. That's all I have to say.
All right, so let's see what's going on. All right,
Are you guys checking NBC or
Indiana's
CNN?
not looking good.
What?
Indiana's not looking good for Democrats right now.
Yeah, Braun is doing.
I would be worried right now.
Yeah, it's man. I think Indiana's going to fall.
What?
He's not getting enough of the rural.
Look at that. How much of the vote is in? 31% of the vote is in from the state of Indiana. Allen County is only 53 to 43. That's a 10-point difference. He needs to get at least maybe 65% of the vote in Indianapolis.
Evansville still that's a huge batch of Democratic votes right there once Evansville comes in. And it's already like kind of close. So
Evansville?
Yeah, Evansville. That's a lot of Democratic votes that'll be coming out of there. That's an urban area.
You know what's really killing Donnelly right now is this libertarian person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not so much Donnelly, but like, I don't know.
They're 26,000 votes now.
It's kind of hard to gauge where they're taking votes away from, or if they're taking votes away at all from either candidate.
But if you look at Allen County right now, that's a county Donnelly lost, and he's leading right there by 10%.
Like I said earlier,
that's a good point. That's a
regardless of what happens in Indianapolis, if he does not win the South of Indiana, there's no way that he can win re-election because
we have a couple of more races being called by CNN. 26 seats for the Democrats, 20 seats for the Republicans. I don't know which races were called, but the Democrats are continuing to make gains. North Carolina 5. I don't know how much of the vote is in right now, but we're seeing D.D. Adams lead 53 to 46.
Also, Kathy, if you really want to cover a district in North Carolina, House District 13, which is actually a district, like I said earlier, the Democrats need to win.
Muckersell Powell is leading against Corbello in the 26th with like 54% of the vote in. That's pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Kathy Manning's still leading, 49% against the incumbent Ted Budd's 48. So
the 26.
So
26 for me is the ultimate
6% of the vote is in the state of Georgia for its gubernatorial race. 67% are voting for Kemp, and it's 32% are voting for Stacey Abrams. Governor race in Florida, we are seeing 50.6 votes for Gillum and 48.3 for DeSantis. Ohio is another race that we are looking at tonight. 55 for Cordray and 42 for Mark DeWine. In the House, seats are going to the Democrats, 20 to the Republicans. In the Senate, we are looking at a massive lead for about 15-point lead for Joe Manchin in the state of West Virginia. That's with 5% of the vote in. In Indiana, we have 55% voting for Mike Braun and 40% voting for Joe Donnelly and 3.9% voting for the independent. In Florida, we're looking at an exact vote of 51 to 49 right now in the state of Florida. It is getting closer and closer as time sort of goes on. It's less than 100,000 votes right now that are separating the two candidates in the state of Florida.
That's going to go late.
By the way it's going on right now, I think Florida could be called sooner. Florida could be called about 10 o'clock, 10:30.
So another thing that I actually
where the vote's out, though.
Okay. By the way, we are 3 minutes from Texas, Tennessee, and Missouri closing their polls. So in 3 minutes, we're going to be getting first results from Texas.
Polls just closed 30 minutes, and the time just flies by. Oh my! Pretty soon it's going to be 11 o'clock.
I know, right? Soon enough, the Democrats or the Republicans are going to be taking one of the houses in a couple of minutes.
I wouldn't say a couple minutes. I'll probably say
that was an exaggeration. I know.
Oop,
Yeah,
my
a
headphones
little bit.
dying. Yeah.
Okay, so what else are we doing right here? Virginia 1 has been won by the Republicans.
I'm gonna go back to
Six
being
right now.
muted.
The Republicans.
I just popped in because of the whole Comstock thing, but yeah, going back to my work.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
by the way, West Virginia's third is coming in, and Ojeda has the lead with under 1,000 votes counted. He's
I'll see you
leading by
guys in like
about
another
3%.
53
minutes.
votes.
Bye.
So,
in the presidential race.
Yo, you guys seen Florida right now?
Senate, House.
It's that's automatic recount.
90% of the vote is in Florida right now. DeSantis in the lead.
What about Miami-Dade? What's going on down there?
Incumbent Greg Abbott has taken the lead in the state of Texas. Oklahoma, the Democrat right now is leading. He has been leading in a couple of polls, and it's actually been very close in the state of Oklahoma in the gubernatorial race.
Florida's giving me anxiety right now.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Kemp is actually leading by about 20 points right now in the state of Georgia.
Like, Florida should not have been this close.
Dede Adams.
Tom Wolf has won his Pennsylvania governor's race. In New Hampshire, it's still being counted. Vermont still has not been called, but I think the other independent candidates with 15% of the vote in right now, other independent candidates are actually going to take away from the Democrats right now.
Like, Florida was not supposed
to be
this
rough
close.
for Brett.
It's even. It is 50. It is even.
Yeah, it was not supposed to be the
Florida
close.
Senate right now. It's like, even 50-50 for both candidates.
Nelson has been
Florida
consistently in polls.
Yes.
Like, with 90% of the vote in,
it's close.
Wow.
With 90% of the vote in, Nelson really should be leading.
What is considered automatic count in Florida?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. So we have 3,572,046 votes for Rick Scott, the incumbent governor. 3,567,315 votes for Bill Nelson, the incumbent senator. Oh boy. Beto O'Rourke is still leading the Texas Senate race. I'm going to go ahead and go grab something. I'm going to go take a tiny little break, not even a minute. I'll be right back. Y'all go ahead and still analyze these results.
Yeah, I have to go as well. I still have stuff to do.
If less than 0.5% of vote will cause an automatic.
Yeah, Florida, you're right about that recount.
Yeah, Florida's about
every
to go to
statewide
recount.
race in Florida should be an automatic recount, to be honest.
As usual, as usual. This is nothing new, folks.
Yeah, Democrats are not going to take the Senate. Not going to happen. Look at Tennessee right now. Brett is in my opinion, kind of underperforming in some of these rural counties. I feel like I'd expect him to do pretty well there.
I wouldn't call the entire Senate race yet. I mean, Indiana is still very much in play. Florida is obviously still very much in play. We haven't even gotten
Florida
Nevada
going to automatic
or Arizona yet.
I'm already just to the automatic recount box.
I actually think Bill Nelson will take Florida by the end.
I think so. Even now, I think
West Virginia, not much vote counted, 14%.
I think Nelson will win, and then Rick Scott's going to push for automatic for a recount.
I've been pretty confident with Nelson winning Florida, but now, oh geez.
Yeah, I characterize Florida as leaning, not even.
Yeah, me too. I characterize it leaning blue, not even tilting. And Nelson's lead just increased. 90% of the vote in Nelson's lead just increased, but he's still trailing behind Scott.
Yeah, okay. DeSantis, this governor race.
11,000 votes in Florida. That's insane.
Monroe County is
this governor race is going to recount.
Monroe County and Jacksonville are going to decide this election in Florida.
Look at the Ohio map. Sherrod Brown did amazingly well.
Yeah,
he's winning a ton of counties.
This was anticipated for a while in the polls. Like this makes sense. This Ohio map makes sense. This Florida map does not make sense.
No, I honestly thought Nelson would get it done by 5 points.
That's because Bill Nelson is probably not that popular down there.
No, he's popular.
I don't know. I don't live
popular.
in Florida.
Gillum has really brought up his popularity.
No, Nelson's approval is not that high, actually.
Yeah, but
not that
on an
great.
election basis, he's been
very well campaign-wise.
That's true.
But Rick Scott's approval is lower as a governor. Rick Scott's approval as a governor is even lower, so I mean...
Yeah, Rick Scott's not popular. They both kind of suck as candidates.
Yeah. Well, I got to go back to doing work. I just thought I'd pop my head in to talk about Florida for a second. I'll be back, hopefully later.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, I'm looking at Indiana right now.